started telling him from when I met him, when we started dating. I was so happy to tell him. We discussed my assets. He advised me. I was very, very open. What's wrong? Why are you looking at me that way?
Why would you do that?
I mean, I've heard of love at first sight, but I've never heard of trust at first sight. How come you trust him that much? Well, I don't share your view. I believe love takes a long time to build. Likewise, trust. He needs to earn my trust. So I can't just jump into telling him everything that I own the moment we meet. So it should come in stages. For me, I believe it should come in stages. Like when we meet, okay, fine, we are all cool. You should be the man and everything. But then it should get to a stage when I become very comfortable with you. I can be like, oh, maybe if I see a car that's on the road, I can say, oh, I actually have this car. I have this kind of car. Then maybe if you eventually propose, I might now be able to say, okay, I own this and I own that. I can tell you one or two things depending on the stage. Then when we eventually get married, I can tell you maybe 60%.
But I have a question for you, Amara. So how will you start dating someone that you don't trust? So you're now coding till you get to marriage, or I'm confused.
Okay, so when you talk of trust is something you build over time. I can start dating somebody because, like I said, love at first sight does happen, but trust at first sight it doesn't happen. So while I love and then we begin to date, the trust begins to come in, and then I begin to tell him things that I own at different stages. Because I know that a lot of men out there are actually gold diggers, so I can't just come and start telling him everything that I own. No, I don't think it works for me.
Thank you, Amara. It's so funny. I share your view, and I also share
you don't share my view
a bit. But let us ask ourselves, when is the right time for us to inform our partner about our assets? I want to say emphatically that you don't even need to inform your partner about your assets at all.
Wow.
Until there are certain things that needs to come in place. Wow. Number one, you must ensure that your partner is somebody that will be able to manage your assets properly.
How does that affect your partner?
Wow. That's number one. Number two, you must be able to trust that partner.
Number two,
yes.
Why would you start dating someone you don't trust? For me, I believe in transparency. I see no reason why I should go into a relationship with a man I don't trust. So, of course, getting into a relationship, I'm very happy to discuss my assets, and I think we all should be. Thank you.
I agree.
Thank you. Sometimes you can date, you may not even trust the person, you can date the person, you can be in partnership with the person, but there is no trust there. Trust is built over time. It is not one-off.
Exactly my point.
And number three, as an African man, the moment you let your partner know about your assets, just know that you've lost control. Yes. I've seen a situation.
What do you mean by control? Can you elaborate on?
Thank you. And as an African man, there is no need for you to inform your partner about your assets until, number one, you are able to know that that partner will manage those assets properly. Number two, you trust that partner. Trust is very key. And number three, know that immediately you allow your partner to know about your assets, you've lost control. As an African man, and you want to lose your control. I've seen a situation where a woman knows everything regarding the assets of the husband. Mm-hmm. And this woman gradually was depleting the husband by excessive demand. Today is London, tomorrow is Saudi Arabia. Right? But it's his wife, you know the way women behave.
What if the man in question is someone like you that trusts?
Exactly.
He loves her so much.
Exactly.
So I get where it's coming from.
So, as you know, for me, I want to say emphatically that there is no point you telling your partner regarding your assets until all those conditions are met.
Wow.
Which is one, the trust. Two, the partner must be somebody that will be able to manage the property or the assets. Then number three, as a man, you need certain level of control. Even as a woman, also, you need certain level of control.
How is transparency
Excuse me, Jola. Okay, I'm actually of the opinion that people should be able to tell their partners about their assets in totality without holding back. But my main problem is at what point in time within the relationship do you get to tell it all? For me, I think it should be in stages because you need to trust somebody enough to be able to tell them such high confidential information. So for me, I feel like as the love increases and as the trust is being built and at different stages of the relationship, you can now begin to tell them about the things that you own. I think we are mixing this up because, Yemi, we are talking about letting her know, which is quite different from giving her control of it.
Thank you. Thank you. If I let, hold on. Thank you.
Okay.
If you let your partner knows, gradually they take control because they know all your assets.
How? They are not signatories.
No. I've said it by excessive demand.
I'm not going to ask you for 100K tomorrow morning if you don't tell me you have 500K.
Thank you. Exactly.
Okay.
So that's the thing. But the thing is, I agree with what everyone is saying. I agree with what he's saying. But I think there should be a balance. Like, you don't jump into telling someone.
Mr. Balance.
You understand? So I think there should be a balance. Like, you can trust someone when you meet someone. Like if let's say I'm coming from a wealthy family, for instance, and I'm meeting someone that comes from a wealthy family, automatically I feel at the back of my mind that I can trust this person. It's not going to steal my. If you don't tell your partner, especially for women, that there's this high probability that we're going to like die first before our partners, you might die and leave nothing for your children. So your wife, as your partner, should know about your assets earlier on. I know it depends a lot on how well you can trust this person or how well the person handles or manages money. But you have to find a middle ground or somewhere like both of you can work on it, at least for the sake of your children.
That's unfair.
No, it's true. That is true because but there's this trust. If you're meeting someone off the street, when I say off the street, like someone like you don't know his background or something, that then you need to like. There's always this need to like take time to get to know the person. You know, love is one thing, but trust is like something like you can lose love for someone over the course of a marriage or partnership.
Excuse me.
Okay, let's round this up.
But trust is something that you need to.
Excuse me. In as much as I'm trying to get where you are driving at, are you trying to say that this trust and love and
it's based on
giving information is based on social status?
No.
So you are not going to marry a poor girl and then let her know
That's not my point.
assets?
That's not my point. What I'm saying is, if I'm from a rich family, for instance,
Okay.
and I'm meeting a girl from a rich family,
Okay.
it's going to be easier for me to trust her and tell her that.
So you're saying people from average homes are gold diggers?
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about that initial trust.
Initial trust.
Yeah, like meeting someone like this week or maybe last month or something, and telling them that trust. There's this when you know someone.
But there's some people that you've spoken with for 1 week and you feel like it's 1 year. But let's round this all up because.
Hold on for the last question. Amara, let me ask you. If your partner knows that you don't have anything, or you don't even tell him anything, you understand, there are certain level of demand he or she can make.
From you, yeah.
But once he knows that you declare all your assets, you understand, he will place you on that and he begin to demand higher.
And this
than
goes
when
both ways
he did not know.
both
He or she did not
Okay,
know.
so excuse me. If you are a wealthy man, why would you want your family to live like paupers? If you are wealthy, your family should be able to live at your own social status, at your own financial status. So you having so much money and then hiding it from your wife, it doesn't make you a better man. For me, I feel like it makes you less of a man because you can't be a wealthy man and then allow your kids and kin to live as paupers. So that's not part of. I don't agree that for that reason you shouldn't tell your wife your assets. Okay, so Olu, to conclusively answer your question, don't forget that the Holy Book says whichever of them you believe, either in the Quran or in the Bible, they both have told us that a good man leaves wealth for his children. Right? So if you leave a wealth for your family and at the end of the day they don't have access to it, what legacy have you left?
Let the family members, let them go and make their own wealth or assets.
We are really talking, they are cutting it from there.